What's up guys, this is Brett here from brettdev.com, coming back at you with another video from Chiang Mai here in Thailand. I've been away for a couple of months, so it's great to be back and making videos. And in this video I'm going to talk to you guys about the opportunity that exists for freelancers and for businesses in general in copywriting. I'm going to talk to you about why copywriting is so valuable to a business, how you can become a copywriter and really impact businesses with it. And I'm also going to give you guys a strategy for how, if you're starting out as a copywriter, how you can get clients pretty quickly that are going to pay you really good money. So whilst I was away in Ireland, I picked up this really good book. It's called The Ultimate Sales Letter, and it's by a guy named Dan Kennedy. Now it's a book on copywriting. So some of you may have remembered the video that I did previously with a guy called Evan, who where we discussed copywriting in depth. And Evan's like a professional copywriter. That's what he does full time for a living. Now, before I read this book, I thought I understood copywriting pretty well. I didn't understand it as well as I could have done. So this is something I want to share with you guys today because I think it's incredibly valuable, not only because I actually sell copywriting services to my clients, and it's a big part of what I do in my own business, but I think understanding copywriting is a fantastic and amazing opportunity for anybody that's looking to work online, anybody that wants to become a freelancer and make really good money. So like I say, I learned a lot from this book, so let's just dive into it and explain to you exactly what it is and how it can actually benefit you, and you'll soon see why I want to talk about it, right? So copywriting is also referred to as like direct response marketing, right? So copywriting is essentially writing copy that sells, right? So it's not to be confused with copyright. There's another type of copywriting which is kind of like a legal thing, right? Which that's not what this is. This is writing basically sales letters. So if you saw like an advertisement in a magazine, that's copywriting. If you see a landing page on a website, that's copywriting. Any type of copy that basically sells. So this is not blog posts, right? I'm not talking about a lot like, I even used to confuse copywriting with like blog post writing and stuff like that, and article writing, they're two very different things. The reason copywriting is different from like article writing is it's not really based on your ability to write. And I say that it doesn't really matter about your grammar and stuff like that. The art of copywriting is all based around psychology and what makes people buy. So it's very interesting, and anybody that is good at psychology and good at writing copy that makes people buy can charge top dollar for that service, right? Because if you can influence somebody's sales in a big way, they make a lot more money, they can pay you a lot more money. A lot of you know that my background's in like web development, and I do try and help people get into coding and stuff like that, and that's great. But one thing that's very interesting about copywriting is copywriters actually, you'll find, charge a lot more than developers, which is amazing. So when I go out and I look to hire copywriters to write copy either for myself or for a client, and I'll put this up on the screen to show you, it's very hard to actually find a copywriter that will charge you less than like $100, $150 an hour, and that's a copywriter that's good. And the reason they can charge that is because what they do has a direct impact on your result. And what I found is that the copywriting industry, they understand that. People that are hiring copywriters understand that because it's very clear. Everybody that is hiring copywriter knows the impact that copywriter is going to have on their business. They know how important it is, and they know that if the copywriter does a good job, it's going to make them a lot of money. So it's really black and white. Like, that's why copywriters can charge a lot of money. I'm not really going to dive into the intricacies of copywriting and the psychology behind it, but what I will talk about is perhaps some of the barriers to entry and how you guys can get in on copywriting and how you can become a copywriter. So like anything, like coding, it takes a lot of work, and the more and more you're going to do it, the better you're going to become at it. I wouldn't necessarily say you have to be a good writer or like good at grammar to be a good copywriter. You just need to be interested and want to understand like psychology. This book that I just recently read, I would say, is a great introduction to it, and it really covers a ton of info. So it's called The Ultimate Sales Letter, and it's by Dan Kennedy. I'll put a link in the description if you want to buy it from Amazon or whatever. But that's really a really good point to start. So I really believe, having read this book, understanding copy a lot better than I did previously, I think it's an easier barrier to entry than learning to code, and I'll be the first to admit that. And I think you can make more money probably as a copywriter, but obviously you have to play to your strengths. Okay, so you might read this and you might say, okay, sounds good, it's a good opportunity there, but it's just not for me. It's just not like how my personality is wired, or not the type of thing that I would enjoy doing. If that's the case, then don't do it. But I think it is an excellent opportunity, especially now going forward, and I'll tell you why. Because it's so easy as a copywriter to get clients and to get well-paid clients, and a really good strategy, and this isn't something that I thought up. I actually saw this on another YouTube video, but I thought it was really, if I can find the video, I'll link it as well. But what the guy was basically saying is, he got his first clients as a copywriter by just reaching out to big online websites. So what you'll need to be doing is looking for sites that have high traffic, and where your copy can make an impact, right? So let's just say I've got a website and I sell a product, so like, I don't know, like a hunting knife, and I have a single page that sells this hunting knife, and there's descriptive text that sells the knife, right? If I'm doing any decent sales, my website should be set up in a way that I can split test the text that's on my page. So if you come to me as a copywriter, it doesn't cost me anything. If you say to me, okay, Brett, I want to rewrite the copy for your landing page. I'm going to do it for free, and if it gets you more sales, then you can hire me. All right. So for me, that costs nothing. So all I would do is take your rewritten copy. So you can rewrite the copy of like I say, an existing website that gets a high amount of traffic. You can send it over to me, and I'll just split test it on my site. So if you're actually good at what you're doing as a copywriter, and you can identify high traffic websites that have poor quality copywriting, you can come in, provide them a little free sample, and as soon as you impact their sales, they're going to hire you, and you can name your price, right? Depending on obviously how much you impact their sales. So of course, for that to be effective, you're going to have to be approaching clients that have high amounts of traffic and are already doing sales. But that's an amazing strategy and a really easy way for a copywriter to get clients online. Yes, you'll be doing stuff for free at first, but I mean, all it takes is for you to write one piece of copy for one big client, and like I say, if you impact their sales, you're hired, right? One problem you might have there is that the client might not have the ability to split test your text against their current text, right, that's on their site. So you might want to partner with like a web developer or something like that, and you could even upsell those services and take a cut on those, you know. However you want to do that, bring a web developer in to set up some split testing on their site. There's lots of apps. I can't remember the exact names of them, but there's some apps that you don't actually need to even change the code of the website. You can just split test, like it uses JavaScript and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great way to get clients. That video that I saw, like I say, if I can remember it, I'll put a link up there. But I really don't feel like the barrier to entry for copywriting is as high as it is for coding. There's, like I say, I think there's less basics to learn. To become a master copywriter, sure, it's going to take you like years and years and years and years and years to become a master, right? But I think it's something like I say, most people don't understand copywriting at all. So if you can just understand a little bit, if you can like read one book, right, and you can approach a site where the guy's just written a bunch of shit, but he happens to get traffic because he's driving a lot of ads or however the fuck he gets it, you can really have a big impact. So that's why I wanted to talk about copywriting today. I think it's something that I feel like is handy for me to talk about, just to educate my own clients, but also, like I say, for you guys out there that are looking to work online, to become freelancers, copywriting is probably up there at the top thing that I would recommend you look into. If you don't have any background in coding or anything like that, and you're like, I don't know what I want to do, for me now, this is what I will be recommending to people in that who have like no experience, right? It's definitely something you should take a look at first, and if it is for you, you definitely should pursue it, because it is going to be the future. You know, everything's online, everyone's selling online, everyone's trying to sell. if you can write good copy, then you are the person that's doing the selling. Okay, you're responsible for the sales, which is amazing. So before I go, the book is The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. It's really good. Give it a read. For me, as a kind of like as a business owner as well, what a lot of this talks about is, because it goes so deep into psychology, it goes into kind of like customer identification and who exactly are you targeting with your products or services. So even if you don't want to get into copywriting, this will really help you to expose some like holes potentially that you might have in your business, because it goes into like the psychology of your customer. And then once you understand that, you may realize that you aren't targeting your customers as well as you could be and stuff like that. So even just for any general business owner, it's a fantastic book. I recommend everybody read it. But like I say, you want to get into copy, that's the place to start. I hope you found the video interesting, guys. I haven't really dug into copywriting previously before. Like I say, I'm not a copywriter, but I felt like it was really important information to share. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, this is Brett from brettdev.com, and we're out. Peace.